Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your initial expectations when deciding to sell your property?
Yes, I could tell you a little bit about myself. We were desperate when we went to sell our property, and my expectations were far grander than they should have been because disappointment rolled in. So one should be a little bit more realistic than what I was. However, it wasn't a difficult task. So that was okay. What about you?
Well, for me, I was looking forward to selling this property when times come, which the time was right for us to sell it. And how are we going to do about it? We went to another bloke and didn't get much. And I can't remember, how did we get you to?
On the net.
On the net,
Yes,
that's right.
Online.
Yeah, so I couldn't wish anything better meeting you and Jake.
Because I think our circumstances were a little bit different to most people because we had a difficult tenant in the house, and we could not have survived going to more court cases if it wasn't for Jake, when Jake stepped in and took over managing the property, you know. So that's my expectations were that the tenant would move out nicely when he was asked to move out, and 4 years later we were still struggling to get him out, and then handed it over to Jake, and within no time at all he managed everything. Court case, everything, goodbye tenant. So
if someone asks us how did we do it, your name and Jake's name will come up. Even someone asks us, who do you think the best agent to selling property? With the two of us, we always had your name and Jake's name. So we couldn't wish anyone better than the two. You should be proud of yourself, the work you're doing for everyone.
And you will pay us later for that comment, won't you?
So what challenges were you worried about before you decided to work with us?
Because we went to a solicitor and we rang the person, said, don't worry, I'll fix everything up. He didn't do anything. All he was sending us bill $1,000 or better this for this, another $1,000. So you two came, so the $1,000 stopped going that way.
We felt let down by another real estate agent.
Yeah.
Definitely. And also too, I think we grew suspicious. Who could we trust? That was a big issue, I think. Trust. Yeah.
Why did you choose to work with us specifically over any other agents?
I wanted to know the value on the house that we wanted to sell. And there was an ad on the net. So I just answered the questions, and Jake turned up. And the reason we went with you guys was quite simply because we were in a very bad place. We were in a really tough place. Jake, the fire is burning, and Jake came in and put the fire out. And that is why we went with you guys, because there couldn't have been a better recommendation than someone who just turns around and says they just want to help two old people, you know, which Jake put so much into, you know, what he did. He really did. And of course we met you and we liked both of you, because I just thought you were more like the mafia, to be quite honest with you. You two cool guys. So you're very approachable, very, very helpful, and so generous with your time, which was, to me, amazing, because time is dollars, and yet you charged us nothing for that time and that advice. All the advice you gave us prior to us even signing up to sell the house, you know. So it was obvious that you two were the guys that we needed to go with.
That's all.
Because our mistrust became trust. We found that we could trust you, and you weren't out to rip us off. Not in any way. You were out to save us. So thank you.
What part of our service helped you the most in selling your property, and why do you think it worked so well?
To me, because you two are so confident, you two told us we'll get the best price we can get for the house. So we trust you from the beginning, right? Whenever it's going to stop, we put everything in your hand. And like Jake, we talked, he said, don't worry, leave it all up to me, don't worry. So with that, I just totally said, don't worry, it's in hand of two
professional people.
Yep, professional. They know what they're doing. We're not. We're told to sit back and everything will go fine. I remember the last hearing we had, Jake said, don't worry, everything will be fine.
The court hearing, yeah.
Yeah. If you get salespeople like that, you get confident in, you just relax and let them do their work. They know what they're doing, we're not.
I think it's important to say as well, because if anyone else sees this, that they wouldn't have a clue what we're talking about. But we had a house that was actually, we considered worth at least 1.2 million. Probably very small on today's market, but we had a house we thought was worth 1.2 million. But the tenant had completely trashed, destroyed, and used it as a rubbish tip. And the rubbish was taller than a person. So the 1.2 soon went down. But the way you guys said, let us get the best price. Just leave it to us and let us get the best price. And that was it. We just relaxed after that, really. And you were always updating us all the time as to what was going on. It was not that we were left out of anything. You updated us all the time. So you told us what offers you had and so on and so forth right the way through. And I think it sold in a month, which was a miracle, because it shouldn't have sold in a month of Sundays, really. Not the state it was in. So, yeah, no, that's all because we knew right from day dot that you were trustworthy. So I think that's the persona that you guys give out, that leave it up to us, we'll handle it for you, relax. And that's what you told us, just relax. We'll do it. And you did.
Yeah.
What were the outcomes as a result of using our service?
Been on 2 cruises.
Well, to be honest with you, before we sold that house, we couldn't even afford meat. And we told you guys that, that the first thing I was going to do when we sold it was buy John Estate, which I did. So it enabled us, number one, to get off the poverty ladder and stop borrowing money, because we had to borrow money to stay alive. We do not get pensions, so we had to support ourselves somehow. And since then, we've been cruising, boozing, little bit of dancing, plenty of partying, I think, isn't it? And we have steak quite often. If we want it, we can have it now. So we're spending the kids' inheritance with their approval. Yeah. Yeah, so that's empowered us. Yeah. No, I cooked it.
Did you?
Oh yeah, one of those great big, the huge thick steaks, those great big ones you get. Tomahawk.
Oh,
tomahawk.
Yeah. Now we're talking. That's favorite cut of meat of all time.
And I tell you what, I should have filmed this one eating it, because you couldn't believe he chewed it right through to the bone, like he was ravenous,
All that flavour.
Oh, and know that we could afford it. Actually, that was the best
That's
bit.
the tastiest part. Yeah. That's exactly right.
Absolutely.
If you hadn't taken the step to engage our services, where do you think you would be in your property selling journey?
I think we would have been in jail for grievous bodily harm or something quite terrible to the tenant. But if we hadn't have had you guys, well, it would have sold. Someone would have sold it. There's no doubt about that. But the important part to us is not the fact that it was sold, but the fact that it was sold by you guys who never stopped helping us. after the house was sold, you still helped us. You helped us organise getting all that rubbish and the garbage out of the place. There was so much help. So would we have got that from someone else? No. We may have got the same price from somebody else. It's the way the market goes. But would we have got the finer details, all the fine stuff that went with that? No. There's a lot more to this story than just selling a house. You know, the way you guys helped us was phenomenal. So
Yes, I agree with that.
do you?
Yeah.
Do you want to add anything to that?
No,
Did I leave anything
you
out?
said it all. I totally agree that Jake and Chris done a fantastic job. They put all their time, even on the weekend they were there helping us and trying to sell the property. To me, I give it A+.
That's the best
10 out of 10. If I had the gold buzzer, I would have pressed the gold buzzer.
Watching too much Real Estate's Got Talent.
Yeah.
For anyone watching this who might be considering selling their property with us, what would you like to say?
You are Mark if you don't go with Chris and Jake to sell your property. Take it from these two old couple. Believe in what they're doing. We trust them with all our heart. Thank you.
Well, I think Raine Horne, we have had dealings with Raine Horne with another rental property. And there's an element that runs through Raine Horne, and that is integrity. And if you're selling a property and, like us, think your property's worth a lot more, and good luck to you, because to you it is worth a lot more, just the same as it was to us. But realistically, if you want your property sold, and sold for the best possible price you can get, I can only say go with these guys. Go with these guys. They are honest. Now, I thought car salesmen were the only dishonest, but I've met a few shonky real estate agents in my time. These guys have got integrity. If you want a good, honest deal, go with these guys. They won't let you down. They really won't. And if they do let you down, call me. I'll leave my number online. Call me. I'll sort them out. No, but it's actually really, that is truth. That is not anything else other than what we tell people about you guys all the time. And it's your level of integrity. And that is rare, to get such a high level of integrity out of anyone. So
go out for coffee in nearly 7 days.
Oh, we go out for coffee every day because I'm not going to have a coffee machine in this house. I'm not, because I want to go out for coffee. I don't want to. I mean, I've got my percolating pots. I don't mean an ordinary coffee, but I want to go out for coffee, you know. But it's amazing, you know, like when you end up in the state that we were, it drags you down and down and down. It really does. And I'm an upbeat person. I'm not a downbeat. But it drags you down, you know, and it's not good for anyone. So, but I guess we're grateful for that experience too, because it's shown us, because we've lived a pretty, we've not been poor, but we went through that poor time. So we hadn't been poor before that. So we didn't really know what it was like not to be able to afford things and to borrow money. We had never borrowed money other than to pay a mortgage in our married life. And our houses we paid off very quickly. Like we're wogs too, you know, like pay everything off, you know, buy another one. So we've got that same ethic that you guys have got, you know, it's been drummed into you. You don't owe money, it's not good unless you're making money. I mean, it's all right to owe money if you're making it, but not otherwise. So yeah, and so we have never lived, like we've been all over Europe. We used to go on holiday every year, flying off here, there and everywhere. And then all of a sudden, 4 years of it, 4 years of paying that solicitor. I mean, we paid one solicitor over $20,000. And then we had another solicitor. We paid a lot of money to him. You know, Jake said, stop paying solicitors, pay me. This is how much it's going to cost you. Well, I can't even remember how much it was, but it was definitely less than $1,000. So, you know, just pay me and I'll fix it for you. One-time bill. No. And that was it. Done. Oh, that money. I should have put that on the tape too, actually.
It's on there right now. It's still going.
But the what annoyed us was, more than anything, that this guy kept winning. You know, we were getting told off by the people running the case because they'd say, but you can't do that to this man. You know, can't do this. And I'm thinking, why can't we do it? Haven't we got a voice? In fact, one hearing I did say, excuse me, I want to speak. And I said, look, we paid for that property, not him. So you tell me, why are we wrong? Because we need to sell our house. We are destitute. We are not living off the government. We want to sell that house. And he turned around and said, if I were you, this was the last time, he said, if I were you, I'd get yourself a good real estate agent. That's what you need. But no one else had said it. And every time we went to a hearing, no one had said it. Yeah. And the solicitor was a joke because he kept on putting all these documents in and they wouldn't even accept the documents.